What going to, man? It's your boy G Smalls. I'm coming at you boys with another video, man. And today, as y'all can see, we're ready to. This is the only way to settle this debate. And by the thumbnail, if y'all don't know, is Michael Jordan and LeBron James. Y'all boys let me know down below in the comments who y'all think is a go, or after the end of the video, you know what I'm saying, whichever one you want to do if you do want to comment. But if you assume me to click on this video, I truly do appreciate you for watching. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you're having a fantastic, incredible day. And shout out to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for allowing me to be here, allowing y'all to be here, and just everything that's done for us truly. Thank you, Jesus Christ. But with all that being said, man, without further ado, let's see who Jimmy High Roller's evidence and stats and facts. Let's see who the GOAT is. So without further ado, man, give it up.
Ranking
now, me personally, I don't know.
Players is useless.
It can go both
but
ways.
It's also really fun. Every NBA fan at some point has created their own ranking. It's like our official pastime at this point.
Facts.
And with the game as
call me crazy.
Awards
I'm gonna just tell y'all mine first. MJ and Braun, I literally cannot decide, bro. I'm sorry. I think maybe MJ, but I don't know. Curry's 3.
Absolute as the
Yeah, Curry was one more in to go.
You think ranking players would be a fairly simple task, but despite the countless efforts to make a flawless, coherent all-time ranking of NBA players, no one can seem to get it quite right.
There's always
some players ranked too high, others too low, some not even ranked at all. Make any of these mistakes and your ranking will immediately get dismissed. The latest attempt of this fleeting endeavor came last week from Bleacher Report when they
that Bleacher Report list was disgusting, bro. I'm sorry. I was trying to make a video to that, but I couldn't because it's and I wasn't home. But anyway, that list was
ranking
disgusting.
that seemed relatively good, but was met with an onslaught of criticism. Like everyone else that made an attempt before them, this list was not accurate, not good enough. Why is it so difficult to make an all-time ranking that we can all agree on? I mean, we all.
I know a lot of people were high.
Personal bias. Is it even possible
when they had
to make
Kobe
such a
at
list?
11?
And if we could, how would we even create it? Well, believe it or not, there is a method that we can use to rank every player in NBA history with shockingly good accuracy. It doesn't use any numbers or data, no formulas or advanced metrics. It is a method way simpler than you would ever think, and yet manages to
I'll be wondering, how did Jimmy High Roller find all of this facts and all of this, because the amount of time and research you have to be doing to find this is
with nearly
crazy. Shout out to Jimmy High Roller.
100% accuracy. Even crazier, we actually use this method all the time.
It ain't the method I'm thinking about. Shoot.
Today's
video I knew it.
By
Shout out,
70,000 listed events from sports to concerts to festivals and more. For years now, I've been exclusively.
I'm not doing it for that, by the way. I just love y'all boys and I love doing it. All right.
Only on SeatGeek. Last week, Bleacher Report released their top 100 NBA players ever list.
What were y'all thoughts on this list, by the way?
People were not happy.
It was some of it was kind of janky.
Glaring complaints about Bleacher Report's list include Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the now MVP, Finals MVP, and champion, not even making the list.
I mean, I see why he wouldn't make the list now. I can see why they didn't put him on the list, because I mean, if he was on the list, I'm not going to trip, but he better not be in the top 50, though. That's what I do know. Or top 75, top 90.
At 93, John Stockton ranked ahead of players like Chris Paul and Kawhi Leonard, and of course...
John Stockton was ahead of Chris Paul and Kawhi Leonard? Okay. That's what I'm talking about. If you... Bro... If I keep pausing the video, it's gonna be 30 minutes long, bro.
Falling outside of the top 10.
No, that's crazy. I'm surprised it did that. I thought it was gonna be at least top 6.
Editors, the results of this comprehensive ranking only left people confused and annoyed. Ranking players should not be this difficult, and yet it is. But to understand why it's so difficult, we first need to understand why every ranking, no matter how thought out it is, how logical the criteria is, how much data was used, always falls short. One popular approach that some fans and experts have taken over the years is the formula method. Create a point-based system and apply those points to various factors like career stats, accolades, and impact to make an objectively accurate ranking. A method that has been tested countless times with varying levels of success. Last year, John Hollinger, longtime NBA analyst and a man credited with creating some of the first...
Stay safe. Stay smart. Stay in the books, boy. Yeah, I'm talking to you.
statistics, created a formula to determine his all-time top 100 list. His criteria being a point-based system that put varying levels of weight into factors like MVP shares, finals MVPs, win shares, and career
I mean, but like there's
minus.
snubs and all kinds of stuff like that too. It's so much stuff that goes into like certain things. It's kind of crazy. Dang, LeBron whooping MJ 107 more. Nah, that's crazy.
Jordan second, Kareem third, Duncan fourth,
Tim Duncan
Karl Malone fifth all time.
Karl Malone
This
fifth.
list also features Harden at 13, Hakeem at 19, Steph all the way down at 27,
Okay, yeah,
and Isaiah.
Yeah, all right. You have Chris Paul over Steph Curry. Yeah, that formula is wrong. Giannis over Curry, wrong. Charles Barkley over Curry, wrong. Moses Malone over Stephen Curry, wrong.
At 65. This Reddit user went through the trouble of creating an entire model from scratch to achieve the goal of, as he put it, quantifying careers using a formula that combines accolades with simple advanced stats while compensating for era and benchmarking, plus adjusting the weights of the formula against approximate expected rankings using least squared regression. In other words, he used a whole lot of stats and accolades, made some applicable adjustments, and put together an all-time top 100 ranking. The results came in, and people hated it. The glaring flaw in this method, as well as every other method that attempts to be completely objective in its approach, is that it's not objective. Even concrete things like stats and awards will inevitably have some sort of weight or value attached to them based partially off of opinion. What is a championship worth, and how do you factor it in? Should there be an era tax on players who played half a century ago? If there is...
Yes, thank you. Literally, if you went by... Hold on.
When does it no longer apply?
If you go by stats, some people weigh certain accolades or stats far more higher than what they should be whenever it comes to just any debate in basketball, especially like GOAT debates or top whatever. And they don't even think of the context of how they got certain accolades or certain rings or some of the stats, bro. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, LeBron did deserve much more MVPs. If we're all being honest, bro. Derrick Rose, okay, I don't even want to say nothing about Derrick Rose, but LeBron, that Steve Nash MVP, LeBron could have got that, bro. LeBron could have had maybe like what? I don't know how much he has now, but he could have had like 5-6 MVPs. And then you just factor in how some players got their rings or the circumstances they were going against. Like, for example, you swap Bron and MJ. You put MJ in LeBron's shoes on the Cleveland Cavaliers going against the Golden State Warriors. One of the years with no Kyrie, which even Kyrie, they're still not winning, going against Kevin Durant. Or LeBron with the 3-1 comeback. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a Golden State Warriors fan, but that John might have to count for 2 rings, bro. I'm sorry. They done went 73-9. My brother came back from 3-1 and won it at their home court. Gave his hometown franchise their first ring ever. I'm not a LeBron fan. I mess with LeBron, but I'm just saying. You just gotta weigh certain things and think of the context, and there's a whole lot of other stuff that comes behind that. You feel me?
90s? Is peak more important than longevity, or is it the other way around?
And yeah, them old players rings, let's be honest, bro. Come on, bro. Bill Russell no diss Bill Russell, but hey, 11 ring, come on, bro. He was going against plumbers. I could have went out there and dropped 30.
Like MVPs and DPOYs are voted on by people with their own personal bias.
That's true.
Creating some sort of formula involves attributing value.
And you know people be biased
things,
too.
But
like people, everybody's not going to be on
factors
bias.
Without injecting some sort of personal bias. The pursuit of creating a perfectly accurate ranking becomes virtually impossible. So what if we just remove the personal bias? What if we strictly use data and numbers, 2 important factors that have no bias, to make a completely accurate and nonpartisan all-time ranking? Well, because the rankings get really weird really fast. For example, Box Plus Minus has Nikola Jokic as far and away the best player of all time.
Dang! Nikola Jokic is this far ahead in the Box Plus Minus of everybody else in NBA history? Yo, might have to put some more. I have a whole lot of respect for Nikola Jokic, but I might have to put some more respect. Nikola Jokic, by the time he's done, might low-key be top 10 all time. I'm not a huge fan of Nikola Jokic. It's not that I don't like him. I'm just not a huge fan, but I ain't like he is super nice. And the fact that, bro, 10.28 is
Luka
disgusting.
Doncic 4th, David Robinson 6th, and Tim Duncan 19th. But in the right hands and with enough data, and when used in conjunction with one another, a purely data-driven approach could
this
lead
is
us
looking
in the right
like
direction.
straight.
And this is what Ben Taylor of Thinking Basketball did back in 2017 when he created his top 40 list. As Ben says when describing his methodology, I won't attempt to balance Kobe's championships with Shaq, nor do I care about accolades like all-star teams or the number of Hall of Fame teammates someone played with. I also don't care about how many rings a player won. The very thing I'm trying to tease out is who provided the most lift.
But you have to consider who was on their team and who. See, no. Because, I mean, I can kind of see why you wouldn't, but at the same time, that can depict the lift, too. You don't have to do or make as much of an impact with certain players on your team than other players who might not have the same amount of supporting cast or as good of a supporting class if there is a pretty substantial difference. So, quite frankly, I do not agree with this. Let me know what y'all think.
To assign value to things like rings and MVPs, Ben's list ranks players based on who provided the largest increase in the odds of a team winning a championship over the course of their career. Ben's specific method and reasoning is probably the best out there when it comes to seeking an objective ranking, using the best advanced metrics available and using them logically to find the most accurate conclusion. The results of this experiment were eventually updated in 2022 and are
He got Kareem over. I mean, I'm not gonna say nothing without using the data, but he has Kareem over MJ. Whoa. Okay, bro. I'm sorry though. Bill Russell cannot, bro. These older players cannot be counting. I'm sorry, bro. He's put Bill Russell in the 90s. He's not even getting half of 11 rings. He probably not. There's a smidge. Bro, stop. Kareem was playing against Plumbers for, I think, a smidget of a second. Hakeem? Yeah, I ain't like... No, this can't be... No, hold on, no.
accepted as a really solid list without the outlier.
Chris Paul is in the top 20. Oh, snap.
That other lists have. The only problem is, this is not an all-time player ranking. As Ben stated, this list is a player evaluation, not necessarily a ranking of the greatest players of all time. And it's evaluating how good these players were, their abilities and their effectiveness in using those abilities.
Okay, well that makes sense.
Not how great they were or what they accomplished. A great
I don't know if I agree, but I mean, he did the research, so he might be cooking.
Determining which players had the largest impact on the court, but not the best method in determining how that impact actually translated to tangible success.
True.
For example, this method is providing evidence that Karl Malone had a larger statistical impact than Stephen Curry over the course of his career, but I'm not sure if there's a single human being on planet Earth that would argue Karl Malone is greater than Stephen.
Yeah, nobody is saying the mailman is greater than Stephen Curry, and if you do, bro, you are an idiot, bro. Straight like
Purely
that.
Statistics and data to rank players removes valuable context that certainly matters when evaluating how great they were throughout their career. However, allowing awards and achievements to partially dictate rankings will inherently skew the results due to personal bias and variance of opinion. So looking at it through either of these lenses will lead you to inaccurate results. But maybe we're looking at this through the wrong lens altogether. We as fans are going to be biased. It's the very nature of being a fan. My team's great and they can do no wrong. So if we need to factor everything in, but we cannot...
I'm not gonna lie, that's one thing about us people who like sports or got a team or whatever. We will be saying some of the most diabolical, utter disgusting stuff whenever it comes to us supporting our team. We be hyping up so much, some of our players so high, or let's say like we have an all-star or something. I mean, some people have some common sense, but some other people, they be gassing they favorite team's best player. I'm talking about they be and don't let them even have a narrative. If they have a good narrative behind them, like, bro, let's be honest. SGA is extremely nice, but some OKC fans be absolutely glazing, gassing. Man, some of the things I done heard about SGA are absolutely insane. Like, people just be losing their common sense. Like, I get you biased. I get that's your team, but come on, bro. You gotta be realistic now. Now, me personally, you can say I'm biased or whatever. Like, obviously, I'm an NBA, NFL person. Man, brother, I think Lamar Jackson is the greatest quarterback of all, not the greatest, but the best quarterback of all time. And I do think Curry wins one more ring. He can argue to be the GOAT. I think Curry's in the top 5 right now. I don't think that's bias though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Gotta hear me out. But anyway, some people be having disgusting amount of bias towards their own teams.
Without inserting
their
some
eyes
sort
are
of
blinded.
bias, what if instead of trying to remove all bias from the equation, we factor this bias into the equation by asking fans what it is they value
Unfinished
most when ranking
business.
players? If the accuracy of the rankings is determined by the fans, then so should the criteria. Well, that's exactly what this Reddit user did. Back in 2020, an NBA fan on Reddit took it upon himself to survey other NBA fans. 662 of them.
This is 2017 though, so this number is for sure changed by then. Or
on
2018,
not just
whatever
what's
you said,
important
for
to
sure
them
changed.
in terms of greatness, but even what kind of fan they are.
2019, something.
Among some of the questions asked were, how long have you been watching the NBA for? The most popular answer was 6 to 9 years. On a scale of 1 to 10, how big of a fan of the NBA are you? Over 80% of the results being at least an 8 out of 10. But here's where things get interesting. One of the questions asked was, what do you think is more important in a player's career? Team success or individual success?
I gotta say, me personally, bro, if you ask me what's more important in a player's career, yeah, the whole objective is for sure for your team to win a ring. But at the end of the day, depending on the context and the circumstances, bro, individual success is far more important to me. I am so sorry. Because at the end of the day, I know people are like, well, it don't matter if you ain't winning, blah, 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 or you can't get your team. But think about it. AI never won a ring, but if you seen what he did with the team he had, carried that team to the finals, won a game against Kobe and Shaq and that Lakers, and the rest were low-key cheating and, you know what I'm saying, screwing him. On top of that, certain players just get legit put in the best or in a far much better predicament or position than other players, and that's just how it works. And people be like, well, you got to make out with what you got dealt with. No. You know what I'm saying? Individual success is important. We're not talking about the team. Obviously, team success is a percentage that, you know what I'm saying, you throw in that jump, but it's the player we're talking about. Are we talking about the team or are you talking about the player? I hate when people would just be going straight off of teams. No, bro, that's not how it works.
2% of voters said team success and 48% said individual success. Almost an even 50-50 split between NBA fans in response to a very important question with 2 very different answers.
Yeah.
Even more revealing, voters were asked, what are the top 3 most important measures when evaluating who the greatest of all time is? The number 1 answer, career stats, followed by number of championships, number of regular season MVPs, total win shares, and career advanced statistics. The near 50-50 split between the importance of team success versus individual success visible in the almost even voting split between career stats and number of championships. One person can make their rankings based on how good a player was, meanwhile another person could make their rankings based on how much success a player had. 2 completely different criterias. So how exactly can we make a player ranking that is agreed upon if we can't even agree on what actually matters, or at least what matters most? No matter what approach you take, no matter how much personal bias or opinion you try to take out of it, the results will always end up
because at the end of the day, bro, it's like there's so much different angles or it's like angles that you can take. There's so much things that all comes with it, and it low-key all comes down to which one weighs more to you. Because there's and that's just what multiple things. It's not like one thing. No, that's multiple things all combined in one, and you have to depict which one weighs the most, and from greatest to least, and then you going from that, and then you include context and everything else that happens. That's how the GOAT debate comes. But here's the thing: how all of us. Some people obviously just have stupid weightings of what they weigh more or whatever. But at the end of the day, how are we all going to know which one, what to weigh from greatest to least as best as humanly possible? Because there's always a counter argument, or there's always something that you can say in any weightage that you do that can maybe want to affect, you know what I'm saying, somebody to think, well, no. So it's like an ongoing changing thing. You can't really have your mind set to one. You kind of have to be open. and really think, you know what I'm saying, think. You feel me? Bro, what? What's going on?
Of direction. There's just too many factors, difference in opinion, difference in what matters most from fan to fan.
Yeah.
But there is one way, one method that has been proven to be the best way to get to an accurate conclusion about things otherwise not agreed upon. What is this scientifically backed method? It's the exact one Bleacher Report used. Ask people. Have you ever seen the show?
Nah, bro, you can't. Nah, you can't be asking people to go to. They be saying something out late. Nah, bro, and absolutely not. Absolutely not.
It was a game show where contestants would answer a series of
I'll be watching
choice
shows
questions
like that.
with each
Very
correct answer
rarely.
winning them more money and progressively
Walking
getting
that doctor office, bro. I know, bro. I know we all remember, especially like the 2000. I mean, even low key now, but even like the 2010s and the 2000s, bro. I never went to Disney, but like if you go in the doctor office or just like certain places of that setting or whatever, you be seeing them shows, them game shows where like people be spinning the wheel or they gotta get something, like blah blah blah. You can win a new car or prizes and all kinds of stuff, bro. That'd be my crazy nostalgia. And just seeing this to TV and this just whole like show brings back crazy nostalgia to me, bro. And nostalgia is a whole nother rabbit hole I can get down, but I'm not doing that yet. But just look at this, bro. Whenever y'all see this, bro, obviously if you're younger, bro, you can't relate. But if you see this right here, bro, doesn't this make you feel some kind of way? Like, dang, bro, I remember them days. I can visually see myself watching it on his TV like this with a show like this, bro. As a kid,
until the eventual $1 million question. Now, this game show would feature one sole
I
contestant.
I know we all wish somehow we got in one of these game shows because, boy, I'm telling you, boy, I'm winning one of them.
Who had to answer these questions by themselves. However, each contestant was granted what were called lifelines, tools the contestant could use to help them answer difficult questions. These 3 lifelines were 50-50, eliminate 2 of the 4 options in a multiple choice question, leaving the contestant with a 50% chance of getting the right answer. Phone a friend, where the contestant could call a friend live on the show for help. And the third one was
it still exists, or it must have just ended, because I'll be seeing shows like this still, like rarely. I mean, I haven't seen one in a minute,
was
but
the
I'm saying.
correct answer to any given question. All of these lifelines were valuable, but one of them in particular resulted in the correct answer far more than the others. The 50-50 lifeline, as the name suggests, got contestants to the correct answer about 50% of the time. Phoning a friend resulted in contestants getting the correct answer 66% of the time. But asking the audience resulted in the correct answer 92% of the time. By far, the most accurate method of coming to the correct answer for any question in the show's history. And this—
But most questions are like exact facts, though. If you're in the GOAT debate, that's debatable. It's literally a
demonstration of a concept known—
What do I know at the end of the day? Let me know what y'all think.
An idea that refers to the collective judgment of a group of people often being more accurate than the judgment of any single individual, even an expert. And it is an incredibly accurate method of arriving on the correct answer to any logical question. In 2011, the BBC network put this concept to the test by filling a jar with jelly beans and asking 160 contestants how many jelly beans they thought were in the jar. The answers were absolutely insane, ranging from 500 to 50,000. And yet—
You think 50,000? Bro, whoever said or anywhere around there, bro, you must be stupid, bro. I'm sorry.
How their collective
50,000
was unbelievably close to the actual number. After conducting their experiment, it was revealed that there were exactly 4,510 jelly beans in the jar. The average guess among all 160 participants, 4,515. Despite their variance in answers, on average, the participants were able to—
What the heck is O2-UK? Oh, United Kingdom.
Within 99.9% of the correct
That's
answer.
crazy,
By
bro.
aggregating the opinions or estimates of many individuals, the errors and biases of individual judgment tend to cancel each other out, leading to a collective result that is closer to the truth. And in possibly the most roundabout way I could conjure up, I think this same exact concept can be applied to ranking NBA players on an all-time list. Regardless of what the individuals value most—
I mean, it probably might be the best option potentially, but I mean, it's still, I don't even know.
and our own personal bias, if you ask enough people, chances are you'll more than likely end up at an accurate result.
But you gotta ask people that actually know about the hoop skis, though. You can't just be asking randoms that don't really know nothing, or don't really pay attention, or don't know their stuff, or any of that. You really gotta ask people who know about the hoop skis, you know what I'm saying, or have a pretty good understanding, bro. You can't just be asking anybody.
Using stat-based metrics better than the eye test or a combination of multiple factors. Simply asking people who the greatest players of all time are will show you exactly who the greatest players of all time are. And evidence of this can be found within the results of Bleacher Report's ranking. Someone ranked Kobe Bryant 18th all time.
Kobe Bryant at 18? I don't know about that one.
Top 100 ranking is probably a little wacky, but this vote inadvertently balances out someone else who voted Kobe 4th all time. Same goes for every single player on this list.
Hear a lot of people.
Someone had Jokic 12th all time. Another voter had him 28th, and everyone else had him somewhere in between. The range of votes for Charles Barkley are probably the largest of any player on this list.
I'm already knowing.
With one vote for him as the 18th greatest player, and another with him as the 74th greatest player. With individual rankings like this, you'd think the final result would be a mess. And yet Barkley ended up being ranked 25th all time, right about where he should be. Can we make a completely accurate ranking of the greatest NBA players ever? Well, we can get really close. In terms of how we would create it and what it would look like, you're looking at it. This isn't a matter of opinion, it is a statistical principle. As Bleacher Report put it when describing their methodology, it's an impossible task, especially when confronted with the reality of comparing players from different eras. Stats help, but calculators won't ever figure all of this out.
That's true.
But asking enough people just might.
Hey man, great video by Jimmy High Roller, man. Y'all boys, let me know, who do y'all think is the GOAT? Now, still, I want to go LeBron. I want to go MJ. I don't even know, to be honest. Curry. Better watch for Curry. But if you did see this on today's video, man, please subscribe to the channel. That would be highly appreciated, man. And if you do want to become a member of the channel, there will be linked down in the description below. But with all that being said, man, without further ado, I hope y'all boys continue to have a blessed day in Jesus' name. And I just y'all young boys and next amount of y'all.